The boy who once walked Thebes in silence had now become a king, but not a king of peace. Not yet. Ahmose inherited a throne surrounded by shadows, foreigners in the north, and rest in the south, and whispers of rebellion in the east. But he also inherited something far more powerful, a legacy. The deaths of his father Seqenenre and his brother Ahmose were not forgotten. Their blood still stained the soil of Egypt. Their names echoed in the halls of the temple. And now, their memory lived on through Ahmose's will. He began by healing his kingdom from within. He summoned priests to cleanse defiled temples. He restored monuments the Hyksos had left in ruin. He reawakened Egypt's soul. But he knew faith alone would not defeat the enemy. He trained them not as soldiers, but as warriors of destiny. Ahmose reformed the army. He recruited young men from the Nile Valley, farmers, hunters, nobles, and priests' sons. He studied the Hyksos, their weapons, their chariots, their tactics. He cut off its supply lines, used the river to his advantage, and attacked in waves. He adopted their innovations, turning the tools of Egypt's oppressors into the weapons of her liberation. And for the first time in generations, Egypt marched. The first major strike came at Tjaru, a fortified border city held by Hyksos forces. It was more than a military outpost, it was a symbol of occupation. Ahmose approached it not just as a warrior, but as a tactician. In temples, offerings were made in his honor. The people who once feared the Hyksos began to believe again. He tried to fracture Ahmose's alliances, bribe his allies, and sow unrest. Tjaru fell. Its walls were shattered, its banners torn down. And in their place rose the golden emblem of the double crown, the return of Egyptian sovereignty. Though far from the Nile, it was a staging ground for Hyksos' raids. He left behind soldiers, scribes, and priests to restore order and math. And it tested Ahmose's endurance, patience, and leadership. From there, Ahmose pushed northward, village by village, city by city. He reclaimed the land, but he did not stop at conquest. He rebuilt. His name began to spread not just as king, but as savior. In markets, old men whispered of the warrior Pharaoh, but the Hyksos were watching. From their stronghold in Avarice, King Apophis plotted. He sent spies, assassins, and raiding parties, but Ahmose remained unshaken. He struck next at Sharuhen, a Hyksos fortress outside Egypt's borders in the south of Canaan. The siege of Sharuhen lasted 3 years. It was Egypt's first true foreign campaign in decades. Eventually, the fortress fell. Its defeat sent a message across the ancient world: Egypt was no longer prey. It had teeth, and a king who knew how to use them. Back home, Ahmose continued his strategy. He expanded the navy, patrolled the Nile, and constructed new fortresses along the reclaimed territories. He rewarded loyalty and punished betrayal. He was not just a warlord. He was rebuilding an empire. And though many battles had been won, one remained: the heart of the Hyksos, their capital, Avarice. Ahmose knew this would be the greatest challenge yet. Within those walls stood chariot armies, seasoned mercenaries, and the last hope of foreign rule in Egypt. But he also knew something else. He carried the dreams of 1,000 years, and dreams, when carried by a king, become destiny.